Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this beautiful 2017 Fiat 128 Abarth. The Abarth is a range-topping trim level for the 128. The performance version coming with 4 extra horsepower than the regular 128 and a limited slip differential. Really a beautiful automobile. I'm a big fan of cars like this. I used to own a Miata, which is a small two-door roadster like this. In fact, the current Fiat 128 shares its platform with the Mazda Miata. It's built in the same factory right alongside the Mazda Miata in Japan, but Fiat adds its own flavor. For one, it has a different engine and transmission than the current Miata it shares its platform with. It uses a turbocharged engine sourced from Fiat, making about 164 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque. A little over 180 pound-feet of torque. In fact, it makes more torque than the Mazda Miata. I think the Mazda Miata's naturally aspirated engine was like 158 pound-feet of torque, or 168. So a little bit more torque. A nice 6-speed manual gearbox. Out of general principle, I'm the used car manager. One of my jobs is to buy cars. Out of general principle, I don't buy cars like this with automatic transmissions. Call me snobby, but you know, for one, I think they sell better with manuals, because most people who buy cars like this, they want this with a manual transmission, and it's almost a shame to get one of these with an automatic. I understand some people might have health issues or whatever where you have to have an automatic. I understand that, but it's not that hard to learn, and it makes it just so much more fun to enjoy a vehicle like this with a manual. And this is a great 6-speed gearbox. You have a drive mode selector, auto climate control, heated front seats. This one has navigation, keyless ignition with push button start. Really beautiful suede and leather trimmed seats. Lots of suede. I wouldn't say, it's kind of like a suede cloth. It's not real. It's like a synthetic suede. Then you have a synthetic leather and stitching on the dashboard. Rear parking camera. Nice leather up steering wheel that feels wonderful in your hands, and I love how the tachometer is red. Also sounds pretty good too, has a nice raspy exhaust system. The Fiat engineers, they tuned the chassis. They add their own styling flair to it. The nose, the front end, the rear end, and some of the interior styling is different than the Miata. The way it handles and performs also a little bit different than the Miata. For one, I was reading a great archived review when the Barth 124 first came out, and Car and Driver is talking about how the Miata's handling is a little bit more neutral, where the Fiat engineers tune the chassis to allow a little bit more oversteer in the corners. And basically, if you don't know what oversteer is, that's the tendency for the tail to hang out. And when you have a car like this, sometimes it's fun to hang the tail a little bit. And that's another thing about a vehicle like this. Unlike a front engine rear drive car with 500 or 600 horsepower, where things can happen fast, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can quickly drive off the road. With a car like this, it's a lot more forgiving. There's something to be said that to have a car that's not the fastest car in the world. It's fast enough to be fun, but I think it's a lot more fun to take a car like this and push it harder on public roads versus a 500 or 600 horsepower car, because you have to go a lot faster to push those cars to the limits. And of course, that puts you in danger, other people in danger, and it puts you, in danger of getting a ticket or losing your driver's license. So, this is a beautiful car to enjoy, on-road driving without having to break the speed limit. And look at this beautiful weather. The summer's coming. What better way to enjoy the beautiful weather of the Pacific Northwest than a gorgeous drop-top version of this? Well, I shouldn't say drop-top version of the 128, because unlike the Miata, which has different versions, you only can get the 124, at least this generation, of a drop top, and it's really easy to put down. For me, I don't even have to get out of my seat to put the top up and down. No complicated motors or anything to brake. It's all manual. See? And then you just pop that up. And then there you go. Really easy to put the top up and down. I have kind of longer arms than some people, so not everyone will be able to. Some people will have to get out to put the top up and down. Nice sounding engine. You have a little bit of that turbo whine too. And as far as modifying it goes, sometimes it's a little bit easier to extract more power out of a turbocharged engine than a naturally aspirated engine. So if you're thinking about increasing the horsepower, probably do a little bit easier to do it with this engine versus the Miatas. Of course, if you do that, just remember it might void the warranty and affect the reliability of the vehicles before you do anything like that. Do your due diligence. And there's that great multi-air turbocharged engine. Beautiful lines. The Abarth has some unique styling. This only has about 6,000 miles on it. Local one owner clean Carfax. Pretty much in close to new condition. Nice quad tip exhaust. Not the biggest trunk in the world, but you do have to make concessions with a small vehicle like this. You have the WeatherTech all-season mats. All in all, one beautiful vehicle. We have a mobile delivery service right now, so we can put this on our car hauler, and we have complimentary delivery up to 250 miles. Can pre-print all the paperwork, bring this beautiful 128 to your house, take it for a spin. If it passes muster, sign the paperwork, and this beautiful Fiat Abarth can be all yours without having to leave your neighborhood. So contact us for more information about our mobile delivery service.